Regulators have placed a ban on lobster fishing in Long Island Sound from September 8th to November 28th, the first of its kind. The goal? To decrease the annual catch by 10%. Lobster fishing in the Sound once held a dockside value of $29 million in New York alone. Today, however, lobstermen struggle to stay afloat.
During the peak of lobster fishing in Long Island Sound, it was almost like having money in the bank.
But in the fall of 1999, rising water temperatures, pesticides, and over 10 inches of rain from Hurricane Floyd created the perfect storm that wiped out more than 90% of the Long Island Sound lobster population.
Over the weekend, Hurricane Floyd came through, and on Monday, when we went out fishing, the traps were full of dead lobsters.
Lobster fisherman Jimmy King of Mattatuck suggests fishing pressure played a major role in the die-off.
In my mind, the fishing pressure was one of the biggest impacts on this animal.
In early September of 1999, a West Nile virus scare prompted New York and Connecticut to spray a combined 30 million pounds of insecticides. Donald King of Branford, Connecticut, says these chemicals killed the crustaceans.
The straw that broke the camel's back was the added chemicals.
The main chemical used in the spraying of pesticides is called malathion. It's known to be toxic to both fish and crustaceans.
There has been no concrete proof that the mosquito spray that they used at that time was the cause of killing the lobsters.
A 5-year multi-state study in 1999 studied the Sound and found that a parasite known as paramoeba was considered to be the cause of death to these lobsters. Yet it remained unclear whether other factors played a role in weakening the animal's immune system. Oceanographer Carl Safina offers yet another explanation, saying rising water temperature was responsible for the disaster.
The die-off of lobsters in Long Island Sound is most likely caused by an increase in the average temperature to a level that lobsters really cannot survive at long term.
In 2000, the U.S. Secretary of Commerce declared the die-off a result of a natural disaster, granting $13.9 million in federal aid.
They were giving out money, so I got on the line with everybody else.
Kim McCowan of Crustaceans at the Department of Environmental Conservation says the fall lobster closure dates were chosen to achieve a 10% reduction while having the smallest economical impact on the fishermen.
They wanted to be able to have Labor Day open because they have really good market for lobster on Labor Day.
Fishermen, however, disagree, claiming the closure isn't preventing catches because during these dates there are no lobsters to be caught.
We took their data and we said, look, in September and October, when we know we catch nothing, they claim that we caught something. We said, fine. There's our 10% reduction. We agree with you.
Lobsters in the Sound may be scarce, yet fish markets are seeing no shortage of the delectable bottom dweller.
All of our lobsters are coming from Maine and Canada.
The die-off forced 88% of lobstermen to leave the industry. Lack of certainty as to why the species hasn't made a comeback has left fishermen frustrated.
I don't think many fishermen would have a problem with doing something if it's going to help and it's going to work. Nothing's worked so far.
According to Safina, the DEC's effort to close the season is not a practical solution.
Closing the season for a few more months or lowering the quotas is not going to end the problem.
For Stony Brook University, I'm Chad Grenay.